One random day, our unlucky protagonist hears his childhood friend's words that she will confess her love to him today. This friend who gives him cold shoulders and glares at him whenever their eyes meet. Kauta is walking to his class when his childhood friend passes by and rudely tells him that he's in her way. However, in her heart, she's too happy to see Kauta in the morning. This tsundere is Kotaro's childhood friend, Mizuki Ayano. But wait, there's more. A lot more. A few days ago, Kauta was taking the train to school as always, but he falls asleep midway. When he wakes up, he sees outside and is relieved that he only dozed off for a couple of minutes, and the train hasn't reached his stop yet. Seeing the reflection of his face makes him realize that he looks like the face of a bad omen. Just then, a familiar face greets him. It's Saionji Mizuki, one of Kauta's few friends. Mizuki highlights how Kauta's face looks pale as always and smiles at him. Don't be mistaken, Mizuki does have an appearance of a pretty female student, but he's a bona fide male. However, Kauta thinks that some of Mizuki's features make his heart go wild. Kauta can relate to what Hikigaya Hachiman felt during his high school days. Mizuki shares that he's glad that they are in the same class even in their second year. Kauta doesn't care about that right now because all he sees is how close Mizuki is to him right now. Looking at him, Kauta realizes that he's too cute for a boy. Kauta does not want to go down the two-way road, so he pushes Mizuki away, but his bag falls down. Before Kauta could pick it back up, Mizuki is already bending down to pick up the bag, which results in a collision. Mizuki apologizes to Kauta for bumping into him, but Kauta is now blushing, so he's trying to hide his face. Finally, their stop has arrived and Kauta can finally get out of this awkward and scary situation. Kauta and Mizuki walk to their class, and Kauta takes his seat behind Mizuki. His seat is the furthest back of the second row from the window. The second row means that he's one of the main leads of this story, whereas the other main lead will obviously get the last seat by the window as per high school manga rules state. Kauta notices the empty seat beside him and wonders why the desk hasn't been taken away since no one is assigned to it. That's when Mizuki reminds him that a new transfer student is supposed to sit there. The student was supposed to join their class from the beginning, but their transfer was delayed due to issues within their family. Mizuki reminds him that Amamiya-sensei had already told them about this. Just then, the door slides open. It's Amamiya-sensei who greets the whole class and then points out Kauta specifically. She mentions how Kauta has the face of an ill omen, and like that, our protagonist takes another L first thing in the morning. Sensei tells the class that the school has been getting more and more reports of lost items, so she wants them to take care of their stuff and not loosen up to the point where they also start losing their belongings. Sensei then shares that someone has been waiting outside all this time and calls the student inside. The pretty transfer student walks inside, and while everyone else is complimenting her looks, Kauta seems to be stumped. The girl writes her name on the board, and this name brings back memories for Kauta. Memories of some notebook and a crying girl telling Kauta that she's going home now. The new transfer student is Mizuki Ayano, Kauta's childhood friend. Sensei informs Ayano about her seat, the main character's seat in the back. As Ayano walks towards her seat, Mizuki notices Kauta acting strange. Not just strange, but bro even got up to greet her. The classmates are wondering if Kauta is blocking her way to confess. With a hesitant smile, Kauta greets Ayano saying long time no see, and in response, Ayano tells him that he's in her way. Yup, the worst she could have done is ignore him, but no, she decided to give bro a big fat L. That makes it the second L for poor Kauta. Kauta couldn't move a muscle and is trying to make sense of what just happened. Before he could confirm, Ayano asks Kauta if he's deaf and did not hear her. She tells him to move out of her way. Kauta is hurt. Kauta is humiliated. Kauta is embarrassed. But Kauta can't do anything about it, so Kauta apologizes and moves aside. Even the classmates are wondering what just happened, and they think that it's just Kauta doing his usual Kauta things. Meanwhile, Kauta wants to go to Hogwarts and get that invisibility cloak so he can disappear forever. During lunch break, Mizuki asks Kauta what was the deal with him and Ayano. Mizuki knows that Kauta isn't someone who would do something like this without a good reason. Kauta is grateful to Mizuki for understanding this and shares that he made her angry a while back, so he wanted to apologize to Ayano. Mizuki wonders how he made her angry, and then looks behind towards Ayano. The intense death stare from Ayano scares Mizuki's soul. He tells Kauta that Ayano is totally throwing imaginary daggers at him, and if Kauta keeps taking damage like this, his HP will soon drain to 0. Kauta calms Mizuki down and tells him about what happened. However, Mizuki replies that he doesn't want to hear as he might also become a target. Kauta reveals that he didn't have Ayano's number or any way of contact, so he couldn't do anything about what happened until now. He hurt her with some words back in elementary school, and soon after, she transferred somewhere else. He didn't get a chance to apologize to her, and he regrets it to this day. However, he didn't expect the hatred to be rooted this deep, so now he's wondering if Ayano would forgive him if he let her punch him on his face. Kauta doesn't want to die just yet, but with how things are looking, he says his final goodbye to Mizuki as Ayano starts walking towards him. Even without looking at her, Kauta could feel the deadly stares on him. Unfortunately, the scary Ayano trips and is about to fall when Kauta grabs her arm and saves his potential killer. Kauta is relieved that he caught her in time and asks if she's okay. Ayano ignores his question and pulls her hand away. She then gives him another death stare and leaves. Even by doing some good superhero Kauta ends up taking another L. He tells Mizuki that he doesn't think he can be saved now. Mizuki feels sad over the upcoming departure of his young friend in his prime from this world. Meanwhile, Ayano runs to the roof while clenching a diary in her hand. She hugs the diary while her heart is beating much faster and her face is all red. Back in the class, Mizuki is wondering why Kauta is smiling, so Kauta explains that he has reached the final stage of depression where he can only smile to the face of the destiny that awaits him. Kauta keeps remembering the embarrassment he faced earlier, and the whole day passes without him getting a chance to have a decent conversation with her. As Kauta is heading back in the middle of the rain, he sees a fictional cute cat near him. Fictional because no way a cat enjoys the rain like this. Kauta is still looking at the cat who is about to cross the road while the signal is still green for the cars. Following the manga rule, Truck-kun appears out of nowhere to send this cat to Isekai. However, Kauta wouldn't let Truck-kun have its way. He grabs the cat in time and slides to the other side before they get hit by Truck-kun. Unfortunately, Truck-kun is growing old and losing its touch nowadays. Kauta is glad that both he and the cat are okay. The cat meows in gratitude to praise the worthy servant Kauta for risking his life. Seeing that Kauta has potential, Cat Sama decides to honor this servant with a gift, so she tries to pull his sleeve to hint him to follow her. Kauta knows that he cannot deny the wish of the Lord, so he keeps following the cat around the town, from one narrow street to another. Kauta wonders why he's following a cat in the middle of the rain and if the cat is actually going to take him somewhere or not. They finally arrive at the Kagura Cat Shrine. Yup, a shrine named after a cat. Kauta wonders if it's a coincidence. He's starting to get a bit scared now, and as he climbs up the stairs, he feels a menacing aura coming from the top. Just then, the bell rings, which scares the hell out of him. The white cat he was following is also nowhere to be seen now. He feels lonely now for being abandoned by that cat. He finally arrives on top while yelling if anyone is around. At the entrance, he sees an archway and a lady seems to be waiting for him already. The white cat is in her arms, so the lady asks her if this is the guy who saved one of the cat's 9 lives. The cat meows, so the lady, who also looks like a cat, thanks Kauta. The rain is making it harder for them to talk, so she snaps her fingers and stops the rain around them. Kauta is shocked at seeing water droplets freezing in the air. She then points toward Kauta, and he starts flowing in the air. Like a respectable host, Cat Lady throws Kauta inside the shrine so they can sit and talk like decent people. She then introduces herself as Amatsu Nekohime no Kami, the mistress of this Kagura Cat Shrine. She tells Kauta that she will give him a reward for saving Byakura's life. However, the way she's saying it is very sus, and Kauta feels scared of whatever is about to come. She tells Kauta to ask for anything from her. Kauta tries to refuse as he only wants to go back home and count the number of L's he took today. Amatsu gets close to Kauta, and by staring into his eyes, she finds out that the only wish in Kauta's mind right now is to make peace with Ayano. Amatsu claims that she has godly powers, so she can grant him a wish like that without hearing a word from him. Like a cat, she then pokes Kauta, so he showers her with compliments and praises her till his last breath. Kauta is still trying to figure out what the deal is with this woman, but Amatsu is not proceeding without getting praise, so Kauta admits that she is awesome. Amatsu then starts searching for something, and after a couple of minutes, she brings out a chocoball type thingy and gives it to Kauta. Kauta doesn't want anything dirty, but Amatsu tells him to shut up and listen to her quietly. This thing in her hand is actually a special candy that allows its eater to hear what's in the heart of the opposite gender for one day. As Kauta doesn't know how to apologize to Ayano, he will be able to read her thoughts with this candy, and then have a clear look into how to apologize. Amatsu notices that Kauta isn't really buying her so she assures him that her goods are authentic as she obtains them from godly mail order. There's even a user manual that came with this candy, so there's nothing to worry about. However, this flimsy piece of paper isn't enough to wipe away Kauta's worries. Just then, someone arrives at the main door, so Amatsu heads off to see who it is. Meanwhile, Kauta thinks about this candy and how if it actually works, he will be able to hear Ayano's feelings, which will give him a chance to make things better with her. However, he knows that reading a person's private thoughts sounds very unethical. But since he put his life in danger for that cat, he deserves a small reward like this. Amatsu comes back rushing while saying that she can't let Kauta eat that candy. Just as she enters the room, she screams at Kauta not to eat that candy just yet. Unfortunately, Kauta is already chewing it. He wonders what happened because he has already eaten it now. Amatsu's expressions are not giving him a very comforting vibe, and even though she's saying that it's nothing, Kauta could see through her lie. He asks Amatsu if the candy was already past its expiration date. Amatsu replies that it doesn't have an expiration date, but there are some things Kauta needs to know. She puts down a heady book and tells Kauta that this is the real user manual that just arrived. This version has important points added to it. Firstly, the one who ingests that candy will have the power to read the thoughts of the opposite gender. However, there are a few things he needs to be cautious of. Amatsu gets honest and shares that there are a lot of things to be cautious of, but she will only read the important parts for now. Note number 1 is that if the consumer, who is Kauta in this case, receives a confession of love, he will die. Amatsu moves on to note number 2 without even giving Kauta a chance to absorb this massive plot twist. Amatsu asks him to please shut up and listen to the end. Note number 2 is that the ability will not disappear until Kauta graduates from the school he's currently attending. Leaving the school midway or transferring before graduation will also cause his death. Note number 3 is that if Kauta tells anyone else about this ability, he will die. For now, these 3 are the most important notes. Amatsu didn't expect this candy to be created by the god of jealousy, so Kauta should be happy that it's only this bad. Kauta doesn't understand how it can get any worse. He asks Amatsu about the god of jealousy, so Amatsu elaborates in detail that the god of jealousy is actually a god who is filled with jealousy. Kauta is grateful for this easy-to-understand explanation. She is a terrifying deity, as she has already circulated this candy in the market with a fake user manual that doesn't contain these important points. Her plan was to use the candy balls to erase one love affair after another. Only this morning, the god of business found out that there's something dangerous in the candy made by the goddess of jealousy, so she was apprehended and the real user manual was acquired from her home. The book Amatsu got delivered is that real user manual. Amatsu doesn't know how to end this traumatizing story for Kauta, so she uses the classic, and they lived happily ever after line. But Kauta isn't buying her words now. Kauta is worried that he will die if he gets a confession, but Amatsu smiles, saying that he doesn't need to worry about that because no one in her right mind would ever confess to Kauta. Bro takes more emotional damage and is now officially a walking L. What's worse is that Kauta thinks Amatsu is right and he doesn't need to worry about it. Just then Kauta's voice starts to reverberate inside his head. His head gets heavier and he feels as if his head is splitting apart. Amatsu shares that these must be the side effects of that candy ball and that they will disappear soon, so Kauta shouldn't worry about it. A few seconds later, Kauta loses consciousness. The next morning, Yuna wakes up her Ani-chan saying that it's already morning. Kauta wonders how he got home, so Yuna tells him that she found her outside with his face turned bright red. Not only was he collapsed on the floor, but also covered in cats. She suggests Kauta skip school if he isn't feeling well today, but Kauta says that he's alright. He asks Yuna to stay still for a second and stares into her eyes. Yuna feels disgusted, obviously. Kauta walks to school while thinking about how he wasn't able to hear Yuna's thoughts, which means that either all of that was a dream, or the candy is fake, or Yuna's head is empty. Kauta's ears start to ring as he enters the school. He hears some saying that today's lesson is going to be boring. He turns around to notice different thoughts of all the girls around him. Some girl is thinking about going to karaoke after her job, while the other is worried about the assignment she forgot. Among these voices, Kauta hears a familiar voice, a voice saying his name. Kauta's heart skips a beat to hear his name from an opposite gender since he is a desperate loner. He turns around and it's Ayano who tells him rudely that he's in her way again. However, her thoughts are totally different, as she's happy about meeting Kauta in the morning and is fully determined to confess her love to Kauta today. He is sure that this voice belongs to Ayano. which means that she's going to confess to him. His heart starts to beat faster and his face turns red as he realizes that Ayano likes him. He's relieved that she doesn't hate him. After spending a few moments on cloud 9, he finally remembers the words of Amatsu. He remembers the first rule that if he gets confessed, he will die. Meanwhile, Ayano walks away while thinking that today, she is definitely going to confess to Kauta. Let's go back to the childhood days of Kauta and Ayano to figure out what happened between them. Ayano wrote a short novel and had her classmates read it. They all loved Ayano's work and praised her immense talent. That wasn't very surprising to them since Ayano is Ichika Kato Sensei's daughter. The other girl reminds her friend that her mother is already divorced, so she shouldn't talk about her in front of Ayano. Meanwhile, Kauta was also sitting in the class, so he naturally heard them talking. After school, Ayano approaches Kauta. Kauta asks why she didn't go home with her friends, but Ayano shares that she has something more important to do. That being said, she asks Q-chan if he finished reading her work. Kauta brings out the notebook that Ayano gave to him. She asks what Kauta thinks about her writing, so Kauta looks down and tells her that he feels the same as her other friends. However, Ayano grabs Kauta's hand and tells him that she's more interested in hearing his thoughts. She tells him not to worry about it and gives her his honest thoughts. Kauta takes a pause and then tells her that it wasn't interesting for him. He tries to explain why he says that, but before he can say anything, he notices Ayano's tears falling onto the notebook. He panics at seeing Ayano crying and struggles to find the right words to say. While crying, Ayano says that she was right about Kauta being the only person to understand it. Before Kauta could say anything, Ayano apologizes to him and runs away. Kauta couldn't stop her that day. After that, Ayano moved to other schools and he thought that she hated him. But right now, Ayano seems like she's going to confess to him. Kauta has no idea how it turned out like this and he cannot understand anything right now. Kauta is thinking about his life and how Amatsu surely stated that candy users die when they get love confessions, so when Ayano tells him that she likes him, Bro's head would fall off and Bro would cease to exist. Kauta is sweating heavily as this new twist in the story is blowing his mind. He decides to head to the shrine and ask Amatsu about what to do. Kauta arrives at the shrine and notices that the shrine's stone pillars are decaying. They were fine till yesterday, but even the long staircase doesn't exist anymore. It's just a short 3-step staircase. He then hears a meow from Byakura. He's glad to see his master here and asks Byakura to guide him to the shrine like yesterday. Byakura tells him meow. Kauta begs her to stop mewing and show him the way. Just then, Amatsu appears upon hearing the noise from Kauta. She tells Kauta to keep his voice down as he is disturbing her beauty nap. Seeing how Kauta is so happy to see her, Amatsu wonders if he has already acknowledged himself as their slave or something. He admits that he really wanted to see the Lord God. Amatsu proudly allows this humble servant to call her Nico Princess from now on. Kauta highlights how the shrine changed drastically since yesterday, so Amatsu shares that this is the real shrine. Yesterday she heard that Bakura was bringing visitors again, so she tried to make the stairs and shrine look good for a suitable first impression. She won't let others see how broke she is. Kauta then tells her that Ayano might confess to her soon. Amatsu laughs at him, saying that he's way too confident and deluded. Kauta reminds her that he can hear girls' thoughts now. Amatsu asks if it's actually true that she's going to confess to him, and Kauta replies that it is. He begs Amatsu to do something so he can get rid of this power somehow. He begs her to look for some magic that erases this power. Amatsu clarifies that this power isn't going anywhere till Kauta graduates and she can't do anything about it. Kauta reminds her that she didn't tell him about these things while giving the candy, so she's the one responsible for this mess. Amatsu knows that Kauta is right, so like a dignified deity, she turns her head and uses the "Don't Take Candy from Strangers" card to turn the tables on Kauta. Kauta realizes that Amatsu is indeed the worst. Amatsu apologizes that she can't do anything, but Kauta tries to gaslight her, saying what kind of useless powers she has. He butters her by saying that Cat Princess must be able to do something. However, Cat Princess is crying at this point and mewing about how this crazy guy is blaming her like she failed intentionally. Kauta gets a bit scared of her, so he backs out for now. Kauta asks for one for time that if he gets confessed, will he really die? Amatsu blinks her eyes, saying that he will for sure. Bro tries to console himself by thinking about how life and death are conceptual beings. Even if the body is destroyed, the spirit might remain. For now, he decides to keep as much distance as possible between him and Ayano. He enters the house and hears some voices and a different scent coming from the kitchen. He wonders if Yuna's friends came over. Meanwhile, Yuna is revealing her brother's secrets in front of her friends. She doesn't know that her brother can hear it. He feels like when someone hears his relatives talking bad things about him. He figures out that Yuna needs to be shut up before she goes too far, so Kauta enters the kitchen, but to his surprise, the one welcoming him home along with Yuna is none other than Ayano. Kauta is confused and shocked at seeing Ayano in his house sizzling the decorative vegetables to put them beside the steak she's cooking. Kauta asks Yuna what is happening here, so Yuna informs him that she called Ayano here because she has been wanting to talk to her for a long time. She also wanted to eat Ayano's cooking, so now she's making steak for them. Kauta had just devised the perfect plan of keeping a distance from Ayano, but he bottled his plan faster than Arsenal bottled their league. He swings around and tells her that he's going to his room, but Yuna grabs his arm, asking with a sus expression whether her Oni-chan is feeling nervous. Kauta whispers that of course he is, because with Ayano here cooking the steak, his life is at stake. Just then, Kauta hears Ayano's thoughts as she is wondering if Kauta is surprised to see her come here out of nowhere. She's staring at Kauta, thinking about how he looks so mature and cool and handsome. Kauta's heart skips a beat, but now that Ayano has praised him, there's no way he can ignore her. He decides to greet her for now and see how things go. Kauta nicely greets Ayano, to which she says eh. She tells him that his face is annoying as usual, and now Kauta is wondering what he did to deserve this emotional damage. Now Ayano is thinking about how she's the worst for saying this to Kauta, even though she thinks that he's the most handsome guy in the world. She finds him so cool that every time she looks at him, something inside her body heals. Kauta is glad that Ayano is only saying these things in her mind and not out loud. Yuna extends the chopsticks towards Kauta so he can taste the steak that Ayano prepared. Kauta cannot tell Yuna that this is not the time for such things, so he simply obliges. As he puts the steak in his mouth, the amazing taste lights up his face. He praises Ayano, saying that it's delicious. Ayano immediately turns around while thinking about how Kauta finds it delicious. A very desperate and thirsty smile takes over her face, and Kauta can see a glimpse of it through the glass of that cupboard. He wonders what is with that devilish smile, while Ayano can't stop shaking and blushing over this amazing moment. Kauta calls out to Ayano so he can ask if she's okay. Ayano turns around, and her smile instantly disappears. She has that uninterested, looking at some trash look again, so Kauta decides not to say anything else. While the three of them sit down to enjoy the delicious dinner, Kauta wonders why Ayano likes him this much. He thinks that she should hate him after what happened that day. Just then, Yuna turns to Ayano and asks if she still writes novels. This is the last thing Kauta wants to bring up in front of Ayano, so the steak gets stuck in his throat. The memory of that day starts to flash in front of his eyes. He turns all gloomy over the worst question his sister could ask right now. Ayano then replies that she's still writing. She then takes a romance novel out of her bag and hands it to Yuna. Yuna recognizes this novel as it is a really popular one. Ayano then reveals that she's the one who wrote this and has a lot more of her novels at her home. She offers to give them to Yuna if she wants. Yuna is shocked at how amazing of a writer Ayano is. She didn't expect Ayano to become a professional novelist, so Ayano tells her that it's still the only work of hers that has been published, so she doesn't know what the future has for her. Yuna shows the novel to Kauta, saying how amazing it is. Kauta takes a look at the book and notices Ayano's pen name, Yutani Takeko. He tells her that she's amazing. Kauta knows that Ayano has been writing for a long time, and seeing that her work is currently lined up in a bookstore is simply wow. He's glad that Ayano did her best, so he tells her that she's truly amazing. Just then, he remembers how he told her that her work isn't interesting. He starts to feel guilty over his mistake, but Ayano is happy to get praised by him. She then reveals that she was told to attend a talk show and autograph session by a person naked Reiko, the editor in charge. Kauta is amazed that talk shows invite newcomers as well. She adds that the talk show is in the form of dialogue with other writers. Two newcomers along with two big names will debate each other. She was chosen as one of the two newcomers. Kauta is listening intently, as it seems that there's more to it. Ayano then informs Kauta that Ichika Keidu will also attend the talk show. Ichika Keidu is a very famous novelist, and there's hardly anyone who hasn't heard her name. Her work sells really well and is widespread across the world. There are multiple dramas and movies made up on her novels. However, that Ichika Keidu abandoned her real daughter, and the name of her daughter is Ayano. He asks Ayano if her mother ever contacted him, So Ayano reveals that she hasn't ever since she left the house. She just called her and sent her an email once. Ayano is now silent, so to break this silence, Yuna states that she just remembered that Ayano's father isn't coming back from work today, so she suggests Ayano stay at their house today. Both Ayano and Kaota's heart skip a bit at this suggestion. For different reasons though, Yuna adds that it's the weekend tomorrow, so it shouldn't be a problem for her. Kaota does not want his life to end so soon, so he decides to shut his sister up. Ayano has the right to refuse and he's going to help her. He tells Yuna that she shouldn't trouble Ayano, but Yuna gives a death stare to him saying that he should shut up. Little does she know that she's going to be the reason for him shutting up forever. Ayano is confused, but seeing how Yuna is holding her hand and making a cute face, she decides to give in. Ayano replies in a light tone that she will stay just for today. Meanwhile, Kaota is worrying about his life and how his bro dignity has stopped working on his sister. While Ayano and Yuna make plans for the shower, Kaota plans to head to his room and sleep so he doesn't give any chance to Ayano to confess. Back in his room, Kaota is lying on his bed while thinking about how Ayano was in the next room to him. He would have had normal boyish thoughts if his life wasn't at stake. With the voices coming from the next room, he figures that the girls are already done with the bath. The manga artist has spared us from the bathroom panels. He wonders what Ayano did for the clothes since the plan of staying off was so sudden that Ayano didn't have her night suit with her. Kaota is finally getting some normal thoughts as his mind starts to picture Ayano in Yuna's small pajamas. Kaota decides to shake these thoughts out of his brain and show off his remote-controlled lights by turning them off. He then falls asleep. At 11 p.m., he hears some clanking sounds. The sounds wake him up from sleep and he stares towards the door. Kaota thinks that he just heard a girl's voice, but then decides that it must be something else. He falls asleep again, and after some time, his body starts to feel a bit cold. It's almost 5 in the morning now. The reason his body is feeling cold is because a ghost is standing over his soon-to-be dead body. Unfortunately, this is not a ghost, but Ayano. Kaota knows she's standing by his bed without even opening his eyes because he can hear her thoughts. Ayano is thinking about how Kaota's face looks so cute while sleeping and how he doesn't have any idea that she's looking at him. Unfortunately, he does have every idea. Ayano realizes that she should go back to her room before Yuna finds out that she's missing. However, she feels so excited and embarrassed at the same time. She decides to stay for 1 more minute while Kaota is using all his telepathic skills to tell her to please go back to her room. Kaota's life may be in danger, but that doesn't stop Mini Kaota from taking over his mind. He slightly opens his eyes so he can see if Ayano is actually wearing Yuna's clothes. As we already know, Kaota does not have a very good luck game, so he peeks carefully, only to find out that Ayano is wearing casual pajamas. He was expecting Ayano to have a naughtier appearance, but there she is with a blushing face and a small smile on her face. This cute face makes his heart skip a beat. Just then, Ayano decides to sit by his side, and with her mind clouded with the thoughts of kissing Kaota. She wonders if Kaota will find out if she kisses him right now. Kaota wants to tell her that he will find out for sure, so she should stop. But while he can't say anything, he feels Ayano's breath getting closer to his face. Kaota is barely hiding his embarrassment while being worried about his first kiss being stolen by this crazy tsundere. Not that worried because he could have turned to his side, but somewhere in his heart, bro wants to see where things go. It was sudden for Ayano to realize that her mom is leaving. She couldn't understand at her age why her mom has packed all her stuff and is walking to the door with both her parents having a gloomy face. She runs towards her mom, asking why she's leaving the house. Her mom doesn't even turn around and reply that she's leaving because she's a novelist. Ayano goes silent on hearing this response. She keeps thinking about it all day. At school, she asks Kaota if being a novelist is something her mom couldn't let go of. Kaota knows all about it, so he wonders why Ayano started writing novels when being a novelist is why her mother broke up their family. He asks this from Ayano, to which she replies that she wants to know the reason why her mom kept writing novels to the point where she had to abandon her family. After hearing her answer, Kaota tells her that he will support her if she wants to become a novelist because he likes to read her work. Ayano's eyes fill up with tears and her cheeks turn red, as this is the sweetest thing anyone has ever said to her. She informs him that she will be done with her current work soon, so she will let Kaota read it as soon as she finishes up. She says something like she hopes her current work turns out to be like the reference she has in her mind. Kaota doesn't understand what she means. Now that he thinks about it, he realizes that Ayano seemed worried about something like she's scared to hear the true impressions about her work. At that time, Kauta didn't imagine that it would be his last time to give an impression about Ayano's work. Kauta wakes up from this nostalgic dream and finds himself in the middle of a robbery. The intruder has already stolen his first kiss, and the worst thing about this is that he can do nothing about it. He's cursing the one who said that knowledge is power, because in his case and Aaron's case, knowledge is a curse. Ignorance is the true blessing. Just when Kauta thought that this ridiculous situation could not become any worse, he hears Yuna's voice calling out to Ayano and asking where she is. Both Kauta and Ayano are now in a state of shock as they realize that Yuna is awake. Ayano panics as she wonders what she should do. If she gets caught in Kauta's room, Yuna will think of her as a Gojo fangirl. Kauta is surprised that Ayano is aware of this because her bold actions clearly say otherwise. Kauta is also worried because despite being innocent, he knows that he's a guy. No matter who the culprit is, he will be the first suspect. Even if he clears his name will be stained forever. He tries to use telepathy again to tell Ayano to hide in the corner of the room, but unfortunately, he doesn't have this power. Ayano has already lost her mind and is already thinking of how low she's about to fall in Yuna's eyes. She has already accepted that she's as low as My Hero Academia's fanbase now. Kauta doesn't want her to give up, but it's too late. Yuna slams open the door and enters Kauta's room. To her surprise, Ayano is not in this room, and it's just Kauta in a blanket with that 5 a.m. morning wood bump. Instead of being relieved, Yuna is disappointed, as it would have been interesting for her if Ayano was in here. She closes the door and heads out. Meanwhile, that bump in the blanket is because Kauta and Ayano are both in there. Both are blushing heavily while Ayano is trying to make sense of this situation. Somehow, she ended up on Kauta's bed because he grabbed her arm. She wonders what kind of signal Kauta is sending to her. Now she's worried that Kauta was awake all this time. However, there's a more pressing issue in front of her. That is how close Kauta's face is to her. Kauta says Ayano's name, to which she replies yes in a loud voice. Kauta tells her to lower her voice and asks her if she walked into her room while sleepwalking. Ayano suddenly realizes that this could be an excellent excuse. Kauta adds that Yuna will misunderstand the situation if she finds out that he hid her in his blanket. Ayano pretends to be shocked while asking if this is not Yuna's room. Kauta finds her fake shock so cute, but then he realizes that he's short on time. He tells her that Yuna is most probably heading to the first floor, so this is the perfect time for her to sneak back. In freedom terms, she's heading to the ground floor. Ayano then hesitantly says Kauta's name and shares that she has something she wanted to tell him for a long time now. Kauta panics as he can see where this is going. He remembers Amatsu's words and realizes that he might soon be going to eternal sleep. He wonders what he should do. He's considering to either cover his own ears or cover the mouth of this freak in his bed. Kauta can already see police officers taking pictures of the bed where Kauta's body will be found in the hands-up pose. Meanwhile, Ayano seems fully determined to use this opportunity to confess. Kauta mentally yells while crying and sweating and maybe wetting his bed because of fear of having a girl on his bed. Ayano tells him that she's sorry for leaving without saying anything. Kauta is relieved to hear that this is not a love confession. Ayano continues that she suddenly decided to transfer schools at that time because of her father's work. She claims that even if she did have a chance to tell him, or a way to contact him, she couldn't do it, so she's sorry. Kauta hears her apology carefully and is lost for words. Ayano thinks about how she has troubled Kauta before and is now troubling him again by bringing up this old story. With a gloomy face, she thinks that Kauta will not care about her anymore. Kauta feels a sudden pain in his head out of nowhere. This is the same pain that he felt when he fell down at the shrine. Ayano is calling his name, but Kauta's headache is all over him. However, these headaches are powerless against a beautiful girl touching your face and asking with concern if everything is alright. Kauta's headache disappears and he's back to normal. He doesn't know what induced that headache and how Ayano stopped it, and he doesn't have time to think about it because Yuna grabs the blanket and unveils the R-rated stuff happening behind her back. Yuna is a smart girl, so he uses her light Yagami skills to analyze the situation. Since they are both still in their clothes, Yuna believes that despite them snuggling together, her brother didn't push her down, or they are in the middle of some foreplay. Yuna doesn't think that Ayano is bold enough to sneak into a guy's bed, just like Kauta isn't bold enough to drag someone into his bed. She believes that the only answer to this situation is that Ayano was sleepwalking and was about to be found out by her, so Kauta dragged her into his bed. Yuna is proud of herself as she has gotten every single thing about this incident wrong. She then grabs zombified Ayano and drags her out of the room. Before leaving, she tells Kauta that he's the worst, not because he did anything wrong, but because he's a guy. The door closes and everyone goes back to sleep. The next morning, Ayano is ready to leave. She apologizes for troubling them with the breakfast, but Yuna states that she will be more than happy to have her for another sleepover. Yuna, the mastermind, is more interested in Ayano's cooking, and for the time being, she has her eyes on Kauta's leftovers from last night. Ayano is also happy with the offer as she will get an unlimited view of Kauta's sleeping face. Poor Kauta realizes that he's stuck between these mean women. He then offers to walk Ayano home. Yuna acts surprised, and while laughing at Kauta, she tells him not to get lost on his way back. Kauta has no idea what she means. Kauta and Ayano head out together, so Kauta asks her if her house is far from here. Ayano points to the house next door and reveals that this is her house. Kauta is startled as he thought that this was a vacant house, but Ayano claims that she moved in here. She reveals that she even went home last night to bring her pajamas, but Kauta didn't hear about this. She then turns to Kauta with a smile and asks him to please take care of her from now on, as he's Mr. Next Door to her now. Like that, Kauta's cute childhood friend is now his neighbor. According to the latest news, Ayano is now a neighbor of Kauta, so this unlucky guy who will log out of this world when he gets confessed is wondering what he should do. He's getting past the denial stage and is moving towards the acceptance of his fate. For now, he decides to head to the cat shrine as he needs to know about something. Kauta arrives at the shrine and finds Amatsu sleeping in her cuddly cat pose. Kauta calls her name, so Nikoheim-sama wakes up, notices Kauta, and hears his question about the manual book. She realizes that this guy is not more important than her sleep, so she rolls back and sleeps. Amatsu tells him that he needs to work on his typical human behavior. He can't ask her for something without giving her a treat. This is exactly why she doesn't like humans. Kauta promises to bring her cat food the next time he arrives. Amatsu is now happy, but she offers a more convenient offer to Kauta and asks him to bring her that thing she can licky-lick. Kauta has no idea what the thing is that Amatsu wants to hold in both her hands and licky-lick. He decides to figure it out later. Amatsu reveals that the updated manual has some new points. Amatsu told Kauta earlier that several parts of the manual aren't deciphered yet, and it will take some time for her to read through all of it. Amatsu then reveals the fourth precaution that Kauta needs to take. If he degrades the feelings of the opposite gender and bloats negative emotions, he will suffer from intolerable headaches. Kauta remembers the headache from last night and figures that this might be the reason for that. And of course, if the headaches continue, Kauta will die. He's getting used to hearing about him dying now. Kauta remembers when Ayano thought that Kauta wouldn't care about her anymore and realizes that this is not just about being careful about confessions anymore. Bro thought he would survive if Ayano begins to hate him, but now he finds out that he has got the perfect anti-plot armor. He's the anti-Sukuna of this story, with everything coming back from the Heian era just to bend him over. Amatsu then informs Kauta that Ayano moved here with the hope of living peacefully and comfortably, so he shouldn't bother her a lot. Kauta wonders how Amatsu knows about this, so she reveals that she's watching his actions with this crystal ball. She can also hear his voice through this. That being said, she knows everything about the bedroom incident, and she can see Kauta when he's in the bathroom as well. Kauta is feeling ashamed as he realizes that a guy's life is really hard, especially with all the girl stalkers. Amatsu warns Kauta not to beat the meat or else she will upload it online. Kauta says goodbye to his privacy as he will soon start to cherish the color of the sky and the texture of grass and stuff. Amatsu consoles Kauta by telling him some kind words. She tells him that he only needs to be cautious when he's alone with Ayano, which should be easy since Kauta only has one friend. Kauta can't deny him being a lonely loser, but he can see the silver lining that since there's only one subject that he needs to be careful around, he should be able to handle it. Kauta has finally gotten his motivation back, partly because of a single threat and partly because he has said goodbye to Korn. The next morning, Kauta slightly opens the door of his house to look outside and make sure that Ayano has already left. He decides to leave a bit earlier from tomorrow onwards since the graduation, so he doesn't run into Ayano. Just then, Ayano's door opens and Kauta hears her thoughts about him finally leaving for school. Turns out she has been waiting for him for a while now. Ayano rushes towards Kauta but trips on her way. She barely manages to maintain her balance and her dignity by not falling in front of him. She lets her embarrassed face turn back to normal and then swings her hair behind like a princess. She looks at Kauta and pretends that she didn't see him there. Kauta wants to call her a liar, but Bro is helpless. They both head to the school together. While Kauta and Ayano are on the train, he hears Ayano celebrating in her mind how they are finally going to school together. She feels nostalgic. Kauta takes a peek at her face, but Ayano quickly turns away to hide her expression. Now she's thinking about how Kauta is looking at her and her heart can't take it anymore. Just then, Mizuki approaches Kauta and says that he didn't expect Kauta to be heading to school this early. He wonders if Kauta is now a morning person. Kauta couldn't be happier at seeing a friendly face. Now Ayano will not be able to confess to him. Kauta claims that he felt like becoming a morning person, but Mizuki is sure that it will only last for 3 days. Mizuki then gets closer to Kauta and whispers in his ears to ask something. He asks if Kauta gets along with Ayano now. Kauta can't tell him that things have taken a drastic turn, but what's more exciting for Kauta is how close Mizuki is to him. While blushing, he tells him that they aren't getting along yet. He remembers telling Mizuki about how Ayano was his childhood friend and she hated her so much. However, it was a misunderstanding. That aside, Kauta has no idea why he's feeling so nervous around Mizuki even though he's a boy. Just then, a random Four Eyes NPC bumps into Mizuki, who then bumps into Kauta. This excites Kauta a lot until he reminds himself that Mizuki is a guy. Mizuki talks about how the train is very busy at this time, but Kauta can't focus on that. It's because he tells Mizuki that he might want to move his hand somewhere else. Mizuki then notices his hand and realizes that his hand is resting on the tiny snake. He turns all red and words get stuck in his mouth. He panics and ends up attempting to suffocate the poor 2-inch snake. Kauta tells him to let go of his hand, so Mizuki apologizes, while Kauta tells him that this isn't some lemons that he can squeeze. Kauta then notices that Mizuki has gone over to the dark side. He isn't hearing Kauta's voice anymore. Kauta hears Mizuki's thoughts about how he touched his tra-la-la. He's a bit impressed by Kauta's ding-dong-ding. Kauta feels embarrassed as he figures that Mizuki must be making fun of him, so he tells him that it's not a big deal since it was an accident. Mizuki then realizes that he let his voice out, so he apologizes. With a clear mind, Kauta notices that Mizuki's mouth didn't move, so it must be his heart's voice. That's when Kauta remembers Amatsu's words that the candy ball allows him to hear thoughts of the opposite gender. The opposite gender. He's wondering why he heard Mizuki's voice when he can only hear the thoughts of the opposite gender. He knows that Mizuki has a girly face and a pretty one, but there's no doubt that he's a boy. Kauta then hears Mizuki thinking about how he messed up and lets out his thoughts. Kauta hears Mizuki telling himself that he should be careful, otherwise one day, he might accidentally reveal the truth that she's actually a girl. Kauta once again realizes that knowledge is a curse. He's glad that his drooling over Mizuki can now be justified. But this is too much pretending for him now. He tells Mizuki that she's too close, so Mizuki shares that it's cramped in here, but that shouldn't be a problem since they are both men. Kauta can see through her blushing face and not so good lie, and while he looks at her cute face, he wonders if Amatsu can protect him now. He remembers Amatsu's words about there being just one potential danger. Unfortunately, there are 2 of his friends who are girls now. With that, Kauta takes another huge L and takes himself into the Hall of Fame of the unluckiest people. At school, we get to see Mizuki and Kauta in a very questionable situation where Kauta is breathing heavily while telling her that she shouldn't go any further. Mizuki, on the other hand, is finding something really hard, but she believes that Kauta can still go. The author then shows a full view, and it's just Mizuki helping Kauta with the PE exercise. Kauta is thinking about how Matsu was mocking him for having only one female friend while suggesting to avoid Ayano if he doesn't want to get reincarnated as some goblin. In less than 24 hours, Kauta finds out that Mizuki is actually a girl as he can read his thoughts, and she confessed it herself in her mind. Now there are 2 girls in his close circle. While helping him with the exercise, Mizuki is wondering if Kauta has poop in his head because even after all this time, he didn't realize that she's a girl. It did help her to hide her identity though. Kauta is wondering why Mizuki is hiding her identity. But the real thing he's worried about is Mizuki liking him. He knows that she likes him as a friend, but with Ayano already preparing to confess to him, if Mizuki also falls for him, he will surely not survive. Just then, Mizuki tells him that it's his turn now. She gets in the position and asks Mizuki to push her back now. While doing so, Kauta believes that Mizuki would never confess to him, but her being a girl means that there's a chance for such feelings to grow. Therefore, he has to be careful. Mizuki then interrupts Kauta by telling him that he's tickling her back. She looks back at him, and the way she says geez to him makes his heart beat way faster. Out of nowhere, a heart-shaped arrow comes flying towards Kauta's heart, but he barely manages to grab it because he does not want to go down that road. Mizuki asks if there's something wrong with him, but Kauta replies that there isn't. While Mizuki is playing basketball, Kauta thinks about what he should do to avoid falling for Mizuki, as she is a frightening girl and every moment with her is dangerous. He decides that as long as Mizuki hides her gender, he will keep pretending that he doesn't know anything about it. Just then, a guy crashes into Mizuki and she falls to the ground. The guy apologizes to her and the teacher along with Kauta approaches her to see if she's alright. Mizuki tries to get right back up, pretending to be all good, but her ankle looks risky. Sensei checks her ankle and finds out that she has sprained it. She turns to Kauta and asks him to take Mizuki to the infirmary. Kauta tells Mizuki to get on his back. Mizuki's heart rate falls as she realizes that her chest will be glued to Kauta's back, and no matter how thick-headed he is, he will surely find out. But then Mizuki realizes that Kauta may be dumb enough to not find out, so she convinces herself that it's alright. Kauta wants to tell her that it's not okay at all. No matter who carries her, they will find out that she has them cushions. She should not doubt his gender. That aside, Kauta doesn't really know the feeling of those things. They arrive at the infirmary where Kauta brings Mizuki's uniform. She thanks him and then Kauta asks about her ankle. She tells him that it's better now. Mizuki is glad that Kauta didn't catch up on her secret even though he carried her here. She finds it really insensitive of him, but at least her secret is safe. Kauta hears her thoughts and wants to apologize to her because even though he carried her, he did not feel any difference from carrying a boy. He then tells her that he's going back to class. Mizuki thanks him and then Kauta leaves. Mizuki decides to change her clothes quickly, and since she's injured, she would have liked it if someone would help her change. She's obviously thinking about Kauta, but then she tells herself that she's only kidding. On his way back, Kauta finds a necktie on the ground. He picks it up and realizes that it belongs to Mizuki. He figures that he must have dropped it earlier, so he should go back and return it now. He's worried that she might be changing right now, but then he remembers the curtain around the bed that she must have closed. Kauta opens the door and tells Mizuki that he forgot her necktie. Fortunately, this time Kauta's luck finally shines on him as he opens the door and finds Mizuki shirtless. We get to see a behind view as well, so there's no confusion that Mizuki is indeed wearing nothing on her upper body. Mizuki does not know how to react. She turns red with embarrassment and starts sweating like crazy. She grabs the blanket and slides it towards herself to cover her up. Without saying a word out loud, she's panicking about how Kauta caught her. Meanwhile, Kauta is just as freaked out while Mizuki keeps thinking about how her secret is out. Kauta will now know that she's a girl. Kauta is sure that it might be small, but it definitely is the real deal. Kauta thinks about what he should do right now, wondering if he should start treating her like he does to any other girl. He can keep things calm if he pretends not to care about it. However, Mizuki then starts thinking about how she will get suspended from this school now. Kauta does not understand how this will lead to her suspension, but since she is his friend, he definitely does not want her to get suspended. He thinks about the welcome ceremony when nerdy Kauta was greeted by Mizuki, and then they walked home together while stopping at multiple stores. Those memories mean a lot to him. Even if he has seen one of the major plots of Mizuki, he decides that it's still not too late. While controlling his embarrassment as much as he can, he calls out Mizuki and praises her for having such amazing chest muscles. Mizuki goes blank for a second while Kauta wonders if pretending that he thinks Mizuki works out is good enough. Mizuki is surprised that he didn't realize and is amazed that Kauta thinks these are her chest muscles. She realizes that she's saved. She decides to play along by acting confidently like a boy. She tells him that since she's skinny, she started muscle training last week. She's glad to see that noticeable results are already starting to appear. She starts to sweat like you after seeing the maths question paper while asking Kauta if he wants to have a closer look at these muscle babies. At this point, Kauta has started to melt. She asks if he wants to feel these babies and Kauta has no idea what Mizuki is trying to do. Mizuki then throws another card. This time she asks him to let her touch his muscles as well as they are both fellow men. Kauta is convinced that Mizuki still believes that Kauta hasn't caught on. She then throws away the sheet to show him her chest muscles again, but Kauta does not want to pass out, so he opens the door and runs away, telling her that he has to get back to class. After he closes the door and runs off, Mizuki covers herself back up and feels the aftershocks of this event. She's now panicking over what she just did. She feels that she has lost something important as a girl. A more confident version of Mizuki is staring directly at Kauda's face while asking him to feel the muscles that she has been working on since last week. However, Kauda turns his face away. Mizuki doesn't like his refusal, so she grabs his hand and puts it in a more comfortable and softer place. Kauda is startled and he wants to tell her to stop it, but the way it feels and how Mizuki is looking at him while saying that his hand is big is too much for him. Although it's not the hand that's big, but the handstand is too small. Mizuki can't control herself anymore, so while breathing heavily, she tells him that she can't keep it inside her now. She starts confessing her feelings to him, and upon realizing that he is in the worst situation right now, Kauda screams and wakes up from this dream. Yuna rushes into the room and slams open the door. She has already equipped both her weapons, a baseball bat and an insect spray. She looks around the room but sees nothing suspicious, so she asks Kauda if there was a cockroach in here or a thief. Kauda tells her that he only had a nightmare. Yuna calms down and then thinks of a solution. She then approaches her weak and cute Oni-chan. She pats her head and tells him that there's nothing to be scared of and that Yuna-sis will protect him. Kauda asks what she's doing, so Yuna tells her that she's only comforting him with no other intention in mind. She tells him that he should just relax and accept her unconditional love. Kauda can read her thoughts, so he knows that Yuna is planning to make him happy so she can ask something from him afterward. Not a very unconditional love it is. Kauda is washing the dishes while thinking about how he doesn't want to go anywhere this weekend. He just wants to lay on his bed and relax. Just then, his phone starts ringing and it's a call from Mizuki. While sweating, Kauda answers the phone. Mizuki greets him and then asks if he has any plans for today. If he doesn't, Mizuki wants to catch up and eat hamburgers with him. Kauda is surprised for a second as he didn't expect Mizuki to contact this soon after the muscle incident from yesterday. Kauda is still a guy after all, so he can't turn down this request from a pretty girl. He agrees and they decide to meet up later in front of the store. After disconnecting the call, Kauda is now thinking about how Mizuki was able to invite him so casually. He doesn't know what he should do and is afraid that his dream might come true. He doesn't want Mizuki to develop feelings and confess to him as he is too young to go to hell. Kauda is all dressed up and waiting outside Mr. Burger. He can hear the thoughts of all those women in the crowd, and at first he feels guilty for hearing others' heart voices, but not anymore. Now he got used to it, and it's just like watching TV that has been turned on. He can choose to hear or ignore it. Before Mizuki arrives, Kauda elaborates his power to us. He has understood something about this ability, which is that it has an effective range. He can only hear the human voice within this range. If something blocks the path, it becomes harder to hear, just like a human voice harder to hear across a wall. Also, the volume varies regardless of the distance. At first, Kauda thought that it has something to do with how much a person likes him, but now he has realized that the volume is proportional to the feeling of this girl scaring the she out of him over the concert ticket. Just then, Mizuki arrives and greets Kauda. Kauda takes a look at her from top to bottom like an experienced simp and greets her back. Hearing Kauda's stuttering hello brings a smile to Mizuki's face as she states that some people aren't fit to get a hello. Kauda's heart skips a beat again as he sees how cute Mizuki is. They enter the shop, and while getting their orders, Kauda is still having trouble realizing that Mizuki is actually a girl, which makes a lot more sense. They get their orders and then look for a place to sit. Kauda is convincing himself that even if he knows Mizuki's secret now, she's the same person he always hung out with. He's a bit relieved that Mizuki is acting all normal, and thanks to her dignity, he feels better too. No matter what her gender is, Kauda decides that he will keep in touch with her like he always does. They sit by the window, and while looking out, Mizuki points at a girl, telling Kauda that she's exactly the type of girl he likes. She points at that girl with glasses wearing stockings. Mizuki remembers Kauda telling her that he loves stockings. Kauda is now sweating as he feels embarrassed over sharing this stuff with the girl. Mizuki keeps on repeating Kauda's words that he likes how stockings can go with everything like shorts and stuff. Kauda wants to beg her to stop it. He always thought that Mizuki is a boy, so he has talked to her about stuff that one doesn't normally talk to with girls. Just then, Kauda hears the voice of the lady from the counter saying that she should throw it out. She's not talking about Kauda, but the fly that is now coming towards Kauda. However, the fly changes its path midway and is heading toward Kauda's girlfriend. The fly then heads directly for the treasure by trying to sneak inside Mizuki's hoodie. Mizuki panics as she tries to shake it off her. The fly has already fulfilled its mission, so it returns to the mission while Mizuki is about to fall from her chair. Kauta grabs her to prevent her from falling, however his impact points are rather questionable. Kauta is glad that Mizuki didn't fall on her back, but not only is she in his lap right now, but Kauta's hand is also on the muscles she has been working on since last week. Mizuki's face turns red and she struggles to bring words out of her mouth. Kauta can hear her heart's voice, so he wonders what's bothering Mizuki. To look for the problem, he rubs whatever is in his hand. Mizuki wants to tell Kauta to stop, but she's too overwhelmed to say anything. Kauta hears her voice saying that Kauta is rubbing the genie lantern. Just to be sure, Kauta squeezes the lantern to check for its quality and concludes that it is indeed what Mizuki claims it to be. Mizuki invited Kauta so they can go back to how they were before that infirmary incident, but she thinks that if Kauta keeps doing things like this, it will be impossible for them to continue normally. Kauta is trying his best to calm down while convincing himself that it was only an accident. He spontaneously did it to save Mizuki, or it might be a reward from God for saving Mizuki. The real issue is that now Kauta will have to admit that he knows Mizuki's real identity, and obviously, Mizuki will be shocked to hear that. He decides that the first thing he should do is let her go because he has been feeling it for a couple of minutes now. Then he should act natural. Mizuki will also regain composure if he just smiles and then continues eating his burger normally. However, Mizuki is not regaining composure. She's way too flushed to even look above. She can't look at his face and is worried that Kauta will now think that she's a freak. Kauta tries to talk about how good this burger is, so Mizuki replies yeah. Kauta asks if this is a new product. Mizuki replies yeah. Kauta asks her how it tastes. Mizuki replies yeah. Mizuki is too embarrassed to even hear what Kauta is saying. Kauta wonders if there's a way to return things to normal before that fly flew towards them with its mission. Just then, they are interrupted by an uninvited guest. Amamiya sensei approaches them and says how the two of them seem to be having fun. Amamiya sensei states that she saw them by chance and called them out. Mizuki turns her face towards sensei, but she immediately turns around to avoid eye contact with Mizuki for some reason. Amamiya seems irritated with how Mizuki is out with Jinbu-kun again. Kauta is surprised to hear Amamiya's thoughts at how she seems bothered with Mizuki still being on good terms with Kauta. What's more strange is how she's calling her Lady Mizuki. While Mizuki is surprised to see Amamiya here, Kauta thinks that he must have heard wrong. He wonders why a teacher would address her student as Lady Mizuki. Kauta remembers how Mizuki was worried about being transferred to another school if her identity is revealed. He is super confused about who the hell is this person actually. Mizuki is thinking about why Yuri-san, which is what she calls Amamiya, is here as it's her day off and she should be resting in her room. Upon hearing Yuri, Kauta is confused about whether it's Amamiya's first name or if she's actually a maid. Amamiya is their class teacher who always seems uninterested in everything around her. Despite that, for some reason, Kauta always gets her riled up as if he's Harry Potter and she's Professor Snape, the GOAT. Things are already tough for Kauta's tiny brain, and now he finds out that Amamiya and Mizuki are maid and maiden. His head is getting worse now. Amamiya then asks Mizuki for a second in private. She then whispers something in her ear. She tells Mizuki that Kauta is aware of Mizuki's true identity. Mizuki is shocked to hear this, so she asks why Amamiya thinks so. Amamiya reveals that it's obvious from Kauta's expressions, and he clearly treats her like a woman. Mizuki is now sweating over how Kauta is already aware of her secret. Since Kauta can hear her thoughts, he realizes that Amamiya must have realized that Kauta knows the secret. Now that Mizuki thinks about it, she did notice Kauta shaking when he hugged her from behind earlier. Kauta finally finds the answer to why Mizuki will be transferred through Amamiya's thoughts. She thinks about how Mizuki disguised her gender according to family tradition and attended a normal high school, but if she's exposed, she will be transferred to an all-girls school. Now that Kauta knows about her secret, Amamiya realizes that Mizuki's time here is over and she will have to attend Street Whitney's school for girls now. Kauta is shocked at hearing this new plot twist, but he still doesn't understand why Amamiya wants Mizuki to change schools so badly. Amamiya then thinks about how it is compulsory for all girls at St. Whitney to be accompanied by a maid, so she will remain by Mizuki's side at all times. Kauta can't believe that this lame reason is why Amamiya wants Mizuki to change schools too badly. He wonders if the reason why she has been harsh to Kauta all this time is because she's jealous of him being close to Mizuki all the time. Kauta then hears Amamiya's dangerous thoughts, something someone should never hear from a teacher, especially for a student. Kauta sees a new kind of evil as he keeps observing Amamiya sensei. She gets close to Mizuki and smells her hair while thinking about how amazing it is for Mizuki to prefer the shampoo that Amamiya chose for her. The scent of that shampoo combined with Mizuki's own smell makes it an irresistible scent. Mizuki almost notices Amamiya sniffing her hair, but then thinks that it must be her imagination. Kauda wants to warn Mizuki to be careful around this Lebanese woman who thinks that Mizuki is her cat. Amamiya then grabs Mizuki's arm to take her to the transfer office. Kauda asks where they are heading, so Amamiya shuts him up saying that she needs to talk to Mizuki about the test from last week, and it's none of his business. Kauda is worried about Mizuki, who's thinking about how she can't say no to being transferred after her secret is revealed. She thinks about how she will never get to see Kauda again if she leaves right now. She's thinking of some way to prove to Amamiya that Kauda doesn't know who she is. She wants to convince Amamiya that it's all a misunderstanding. Kauda hears her thoughts and wonders how he should help her. He can't straight up say that I don't know Mizuki is a girl. Amamiya then asks Kauda to excuse them, while Mizuki apologizes for leaving so suddenly after calling him out here. She then says goodbye to him, but Kauda can see her smile disappearing as she knows that this is their final goodbye. Suddenly, that idea bowl over Kauda's head lights up as he realizes that there's only one way left to convince Amamiya that he's still unaware of Mizuki's identity. He asks Mizuki to wait for a second, and while hiding his embarrassment, he asks if she would like to go to the bathroom with him before leaving. He's pumped after all that drinking and needs to release some minerals, and he's sure that Mizuki feels the same. Amamiya is stunned as she can't believe that Kauda would actually invite a lady to the men's restroom. This must mean that Kauda still doesn't realize that Mizuki is a girl, which ultimately means that her excuse to transfer Mizuki to another school has disappeared. Mizuki's face lights up again as she tells Amamiya that she's going to the bathroom with Kauda. Amamiya goes blank as if she just suffered a trauma. Now then, they both enter the bathroom and Kauda realizes that he did not think this through. The problem of Amamiya has disappeared, but how do they face each other now? They take their spots like respectable men by leaving one in the middle. Mizuki pretends to do it because she can't actually use it. Kauda also only pretends because he's not relaxed enough for the flow. Kauda keeps apologizing to Mizuki in his mind for putting her in this situation. Kauda waits until Mizuki leaves first and then heads outside after her. Mizuki then apologizes for leaving early even though she invited him. However, Amamiya-sensei is nowhere to be found right now. Not only her, but Amamiya's half-eaten burger is also gone. Mizuki wonders how these two are related, but Kauda seems to have an idea behind the connection of these two disappearances. Both are tired after such a big event, so Kauda suggests calling it a day. The conclusion of their day out is that Amamiya-sensei is dangerous. As they are walking to the station together, Mizuki thanks Kauda in her heart for saving her life earlier because Amamiya was totally ready to begin the transfer process. Mizuki was surprised when Kauda asked her to go to the bathroom together, but then she realized that this would clear up Amamiya's doubt of Kauda finding out the secret, so it all turned out well. However, she laughs at Kauda for not realizing yet that she's actually a girl. She thanks Kauda for saving her from falling down when the fly was trying to sneak a peek. Kauda tells her that she's lucky she did not get hurt, so Mizuki replies that now she owes Kauda a big one. Kauda states that she doesn't owe him anything, but Mizuki insists that she does. She holds both his hands and promises that if anything happens to Kauda, she will surely support him. Kauda thanks her while looking at her purest smile. Mizuki then heads off saying that she will see him at school. Meanwhile, Kauda just stands there waiting for his heartbeat to slow down after that romantic hand-holding with Mizuki. He's now worried that he might confess to Mizuki before anyone confesses to him. Just then, Byakuya approaches Kauda and greets him. Kauda is glad to see her as he asks if Byakuya has come to see him because she was worried about him. However, Byakuya seems to have a sad look on her face. With this, Kauda realizes that he will not have any time to rest and a new series of trouble already awaits him. So Byakuya came to see Kauda with a sad expression on her cute little face, and now Kauda is holding his owner in his arms while making sure to look at both sides so no unseen calamity falls over him. As he arrives home, he notices a strange car in front of Ayano's house. He gets closer to find out that a lady is heading back to her car while her secretary is trying to convince her not to back out before seeing Ayano after coming all this way. The pretty lady tells her pretty secretary that she's scared. Kauda immediately recognizes her as Hana-san and is shocked to see her here. The pretty secretary gets in front of Hana and asks Kauda who he is. Kauda introduces himself as the guy living next door and then asks the lady if she's actually Hana, Ayano's mom. Hana immediately recognizes Kauta after hearing his name. She's glad to see him, so she pats his cheek while saying how he has grown up well. She compliments him by saying that he has turned out so handsome, but Kauta is already blushing as he isn't used to pretty ladies touching him so casually. Hana notices Kauta being embarrassed, so she retracts her hand and apologizes for treating him like a child. Since he's the same age as Ayano, he must be in the second year as well. Kauta then asks Hana if she came to see Ayano. Hana lies by saying that she was only passing by and is heading back home now. Pretty secretary tries to stop her, but Hana tells Psycho to stop saying yelping. Kauta can hear Hana's thoughts about how she feels guilty over not contacting Ayano ever since she left home. Kauta remembers Ayano's thoughts and her lonely expressions, so he's sure that Ayano would want to meet her mother. He asks Hana-san to wait a second. He tells her that she should go in and meet her even if it's only for a while. He insists, but Hana remains silent on his request as she gets back in her car. She thinks that she does not have the right to go and casually meet Ayano. She then closes the door and drives off. With pretty Seiko, Kauta wonders how this situation with Hana could be resolved. He then looks at Byakuya and asks if she was worried about Hana. If so, he assures Byakuya that Hana won't catnap her. However, Byakuya still seems down, so Kauta wonders if something else is bothering her. Out of fear, Kauta decides to head to Kagura's cat shrine instead of home. Kauta arrives at the shrine and sees something that Amatsu's followers should never see. She's counting something, and apparently, she has collected 53. She tells her cats to search under the vending machines next time, as they might find more coins there. Kauta interrupts Amatsu and asks her what in the money heist is she doing. Amatsu claims that she doesn't have a choice because even after making such a beautiful donation box, she only gets 1 or 2 yen each week. She thinks that people with worldly desires are getting more selfish with their money. Kauta feels bad for her, so he brings out his wallet and offers 50 yen coin. Amatsu seems happy with this donation, while Kauta knows how this shrine is already on the verge of collapse. She then brings up the topic of the manual. She reveals that some new information has been deciphered, so she's going to read out the important parts. With hopes of finally finding a solution, Kauta hears her carefully. Amatsu then shares the precaution number 5 that says that a 10-second countdown will appear in the moments before an imminent confession. She doesn't know if the numbers will appear in front of him or something, but he will be able to recognize the countdown, and he can try to prevent his immediate eye-sticking from confession. Kauta thinks about it and realizes that this countdown will give him a heads-up like the moments before disaster sound used in reels. Kauta is glad to hear this precaution, but he wonders if this warning means that the god of jealousy is somewhat merciful. However, Amatsu claims that it is actually an awful precaution, and Kauta isn't thinking right about it. She gives him an example of a scenario where he's suddenly attacked from behind by a guy with an axe. Or another scenario with a guy holding an axe and wearing a creepy smile on his face walking towards him from the front. He then attacks Kauta with all his might and takes him down. She asks Kauta which scenario would make him wet his pants, so Kauta replies that it's obviously when he's coming from the front. A surprise attack is much better among these two options. He then realizes what Amatsu means. She explains that God of Jealousy wants to give the candy users a taste of the fear of dying. Those 10 seconds are conditioned so the user panics and loses his mind. Byakuya is worried about Kauta because, agree or not, cats are much more affectionate than they are given the credit for. Kauta pats her head and tells her that she shouldn't make such a sad face. He assures her that no matter how dangerous the situation is, he won't get confessed. He believes in his unpopularity, so he tells Byakuya not to underestimate it. Kauta then thanks Amatsu for sharing this information and then gets up to head back home, as Yuna must be hungry. Kauta seems much relaxed, so Amatsu stops him, and with a serious look on her face, she tells him that she has a bad feeling about this. She asks him if he has the worst luck because he's Kauta, or is he Kauta because he has the worst luck. She suggests him to keep an eye out. Kauta arrives back home, and while heading upstairs, he apologizes to Yuna for being late. He tells her that he will be making dinner right away. However, he looks up the stairs to see Ayano waiting for him. She welcomes him home and says sorry for intruding. Kauta is stunned to see her here, as he wonders why Ayano is here again. He still hasn't recovered from the last time, and here she is again. He hears her thoughts about the arrival of tickets for the autographing session, and she wants to give it to Kauta first. Kauta realizes what Amatsu must have meant by having a bad feeling. He tells her that he doesn't mind her intruding, while Ayano nods with a cute look on her face. That aside, the guy inside Kauta is finally returning as he starts checking out Ayano. It's the first time he's seeing her in her casual clothes ever since they started school. She's wearing a cute frilled skirt with a white blouse, which is far from her usual attire. Also, she's wearing stockings. Yes, stockings. The weakness of Kauta. He wonders how Ayano knows about her tastes, and the situation isn't looking good for him because he wants to scream how much he loves this look of Ayano in stockings. Ayano is acting all casual while Kauta realizes that Amatsu's bad feeling wasn't about the autographing session but about the black stockings. Meanwhile, Amatsu is looking at Kauta through her ball and is embarrassed at how Kauta thinks that she was warning him about stockings, which is not true at all. Flashback time. Back when Yuna was still in elementary school, their dad was involved in an accident and got sent to another world as a slime. He didn't know the details about his mom's job, but she told him that it was an important job that saved many lives, so she was either a surgeon or selling shady stuff. She would tell Kauta to look after the house while she's gone. Kauta would see her head out every day and come back late. After his dad passed, she got busier with work and would come home less often. As a child, Kauta thought to himself that he has to be strong for his sister so Yuna would have someone by her side in the absence of a mother figure. Respect to Kauta. Afterward, a nanny that his mom hired would come to their house every day to take care of them. However, every time she came, Yuna cried loudly, saying that at this rate, their mom would be replaced forever. Because of how uneasy Yuna felt, Kauta called mom and asked her to stop sending them a nanny. Since that day, only food was delivered at their doorstep. He would often look at the sad face of his little sister, who was craving for parental love. He tried to tell her some funny stories from school or talk to her about trendy anime, but Yuna didn't smile once. Nothing seemed to cheer Yuna up until one day, their mom gave them each a pendant. Yuna was extremely happy with that present, and her mood started to somewhat improve. That pendant helped to reduce the weight on Kauta's shoulders. Flashback pause. Kauta arrives back home and finds Ayano wearing black stockings. He knows that he can barely survive Ayano, but with the stockings, it's an overkill, so he asks Amatsu for help, or anyone at this point. Just then, Yuna pops out from the kitchen telling Kauta that he's late today. She informs him that she's already preparing curry. Kauta apologizes since it was his duty to cook today. However, Yuna raises the knife while saying with a pure smile that he can still help her. Kauta tells her to put the knife down first. After preparing the curry, the three of them enjoy it together. Ayano apologizes for not only intruding but also eating at their place, but Yuna assures her that there's plenty for them to eat, so she should just munya. Kauta thinks about how Ayano mentioned an autograph session earlier, and there's also a talk show that day. He remembers Ayano telling him about it when she made him that steak and then put his life at stake later that night. Remember how the volume varies with the feeling. Right now, Kauta is going deaf with how loudly he's hearing Ayano's firm resolve about inviting him to the autograph session. That is the main reason for her visit today. Now Kauta realizes that the way things are developing so rapidly, Amatsu must be talking about this when she said she has a bad feeling. Ayano finally decides that it's time to ask Kauta about the autograph session. With that, she swallows another bite of curry while acknowledging how afraid she is to do so. Kauta feels bad for Ayano, and he wants to help her, but he knows that for his survival, it is best for him to not go. Kauta is then washing dishes when Ayano approaches him and offers to help him with them. Kauta tells her that he will manage and she should go watch TV with Yuna. Just then, Ayano calls out his name and states that when they were in elementary school, Kauta used to write his name in a fancy way. Kauta has no idea what kind of question this is but believes in Ayano. She's going somewhere. She then asks Kauta what they call that fancy way of writing names. Kauta realizes that Ayano was trying to get him to say autograph. She looks cute, but she has got the acting skills of a new elementary school teacher. Kauta acts ignorant, and instead of saying autograph, he says chunidyu. This is the term used to refer to teens with main character syndrome, thinking that they have hidden powers. Ayano does have an else code, so she says that this is exactly what she is talking about. Kauta realizes how easy it is to confuse Ayano. While Ayano is still depressed over her failure, Yuna notices and approaches them with an emergency. She tells Kauta that they are out of the after-meal snacks. There's only one solution to this problem. She tells Kauta to run to the store and buy some more. Kauta reminds her that he already bought a bunch of them yesterday. However, Yuna is disappointed in his brother for thinking that those snacks would still be around. That's her way of confessing that she ate them all. She then pushes Ayano as well, saying that she should accompany Kauta. Ayano was confused, so she looks back at Yuna, who's giving her a thumbs up and wishing her all the best for whatever she's trying to do. Ayano bows down while blushing to express her gratitude for this humble comrade will remember thy utmost benevolence. On their way back from the convenience store, Kauta notices Ayano falling behind, so he calls her out saying that they should head back now. Ayano realizes that if she wants to invite Kauta, now is the best time. She then decides that she will do it right after they cross the road. She then postpones it again and again. They have arrived at the bridge, so Ayano decides that she will ask him when they pass this bridge. At this rate, Kauta is sure that Ayano won't be able to invite him. He then looks around and suddenly stops in the middle of the bridge. Ayano stops as well and asks Kauta why he stopped there. Kauta seemed to be thinking about something, so Ayano's question snaps him out of it. He tells her that it's nothing and continues walking. Ayano then looks down at the stream and realizes something. She remembers this stream. This is where Kauta lost his pendant. She asks him if he still remembers that day. Hearing that brings a lot of memories back to Kauta's mind. Ayano thinks that it was Yuna's pendant and reminds Kauta of how he told her that he dropped it while playing. Kauta remembers it now, but the memories seem fuzzy. He remembers that Yuna was here too, but he can't remember if she was crying or smiling. Ayano also doesn't remember that clearly, but she remembers this much, that it is a nice memory. Seeing her smile, Kauta remembers that he did tell Ayano about the lost pendant and he must have forgotten about it because it wasn't a bad memory that usually stick around longer. Some Skibidi Sigma males thought that they would look cool if they threw Yuna's ominous pendant into the river. Their fragile ego couldn't bear how Yuna never smiled, or she seemed like a creepy doll, unlike the other beautiful dolls that these boys play with while putting on their mama's lipstick and calling their friends daddy. They throw Yuna's pendant into the river. She comes crying back home while covered in dirt after looking for the pendant. Unfortunately, she couldn't find it, so she tells her brother about it. Kauta, who is in the middle of drinking water, leaves his glass on the table and immediately runs towards the bridge. He starts looking for the pendant at the riverside, and when he can't, he jumps into the stream and keeps looking for the pendant. He only found piles of lumpy stones under his foot, and most of his efforts were wasted on looking for solid ground to stand on, so he doesn't swim away. He wished that his pendant had the same design as Yuna's, so he could give his own to her. This wish kept echoing in his mind while he desperately continued the search. After spending hours, Kauta already feels tired, but what's more concerning to him is how Yuna's smile will disappear again. He looks at his bruised hands while feeling hopeless. Just then, someone approaches him and asks what he's looking for. He turns around and sees Ayano looking at her with a smile on her face. She greets him with her usual cheery smile and hopeful eyes, saying how it's been a while since they last saw each other. Kauta remembers her because he used to play with Ayano since she's the daughter of his mom's friend. However, they stopped playing together once Kauta's dad passed away. Ayano steps into the stream, so with a surprise reaction, Kauta asks this crazy girl what she's doing. Ayano asks Kauta if he's treasure hunting or something, but Kauta tells her that he's not playing around. He reveals that his sister Yuna dropped her pendant here, so he was trying to look for it, but he couldn't find it. He states that he has had enough now. Ayano asks Kauta if he's thinking about giving up, but Kauta remains silent as he starts walking back home. Ayano offers to help him look for it, so they should keep on trying for a bit longer. She tells him that it might rain tomorrow, so if they don't find it today, it will surely be washed away tomorrow. Kauta remains silent as he wants to tell her to leave him alone. Ayano keeps calling his name, but he ignores her and heads back home. He was miserable that Ayano saw him in that hopeless and messy state, so he ran away and left her alone. He regrets putting his own feelings ahead of Yuna's pendant. When he arrives back home, he sees Yuna still crying while sitting at the door. At seeing Kauta back, she raises her head with a slight hope that Kauta found the pendant. However, Kauta apologizes, saying that he couldn't find it. Before he could complete his apology, he sees Yuna's hope disappearing and her eyes falling back in despair. She starts crying while Kauta looks at her with a hopeless face. He offers to give her his own pendant, but Yuna continues crying, saying that she wants her own back. Kauta could do nothing in this situation. No matter how strongly he wants to act in front of her, her crying noises started to close his eyes on their own. He wanted to look strong, at least in Yuna's eyes, but he was reminded that there's still a long way for him to go. While sitting on the sofa with his one arm wrapped around his little sister, Kauta waits for Yuna to fall asleep. For himself, he felt as if he wouldn't be able to sleep for a long time now. Just then, the doorbell rings. Kauta wonders who is it at this hour. He did check with Mom, who didn't tell him about anyone coming, so whoever it is, he is in no mood to see them. He lets the bell ring and ignores it completely. The doorbell stops ringing, however, he hears someone knocking on the window now. Kauta is now scared. He wakes Yuna up, saying that there's someone in the backyard. While trembling with fear, he slowly opens to the curtain to see who it is. To his surprise, it's Ayano with her cheery smile, and in her hand is the pendant that Yuna lost. Kauta is surprised to see Ayano at this hour while being covered in dirt. Ayano asks them if this is the pendant Yuna lost. Yuna looks at it, and it is indeed the same one. Ayano is glad that she found it. Yuna starts crying again, but this time, it's tears of happiness. She thanks Ayano for bringing it back to her. Kauta is shocked to realize that Ayano was looking for the pendant all this time, so Ayano tells him that it's because she told him that it will rain tomorrow. Kauta asks her why she went through so much trouble for them, so Ayano states that it's because Kauta was in trouble. It's natural to help someone who's in trouble. Ayano then shows him some more valuable finds, saying that she didn't know which one belonged to Yuna, so she picked up everything that seemed valuable. She asks Yuna if she wants any of these, but Yuna seems satisfied with her own pendant. Ayano smiles brightly as she could not be happier with being able to help somebody. Ayano filled in the blanks of the day that could have ended in sadness. Ayano probably doesn't realize, but she might have saved Yuna and Kauta that day. Flashback over. Back to the present, Kauta calls out Ayano while thinking about how Amatsu warned him about the bad feeling she has. He brings up the topic of the autograph session, saying that she told him about this the last time she came over. Despite that warning from Amatsu, Kauta wants to enjoy the present alongside Ayano, so he asks her if he could join her in the autograph session. The day that could have been one of the darkest memories of Kauta and Yuna was painted over by Ayano's beautiful and bright smile. After remembering that, Kauta doesn't want to make Ayano sad or ignore her feelings, regardless of the price he might have to pay. He wants to cherish the present with Ayano, so he asks her himself if he could join the autograph session. Amatsu asks Kauta if he values other people's feelings over his own life. Kauta says that he does, and then apologizes for making her look after him all the time. He then gets up to excuse himself. However, Amatsu grabs his face with both her hands. She then wishes to God to grant this person the greatest blessing. Tiny Amatsu then takes a step back, saying that this might bring a bit of luck on his side now. Kauta is amazed to see that Amatsu has such power. Amatsu proudly claims that he should believe in the power of a cat. She then tells him that petting a cat's belly can help purify the spirit, so Kauta should surely do it aggressively. Byakuya cat walks towards Kauta and lays down on her back. Being a human, Kauta can't resist such an offer, so he enjoys the fluffiness of the cutest creature. Amatsu, who is also lying on the floor right now, asks Kauta to come close to her and pet her as well since she has the fluffiest fur in town. However, Kauta can't betray his master, so he refuses, saying that he's satisfied with Byakuya. Amatsu is shocked at this rejection and she blames Byakuya for it. The next day at school, Kauta is thinking about how Ayano couldn't even invite him to the autograph session, so he doesn't think that she will get over the wall of love confession anytime soon. She couldn't take down an NPC, so Kauta doesn't expect her to take down the final boss anytime soon. Thankfully, this candy curse has a time limit, and if he remembers correctly, it won't disappear until graduation. That means Ayano still has 2 years, so it's not impossible for him to muster the courage. Just then, Kauta hears a voice saying "Found you, Ko-chan," and the way it is said makes Kauta's heart jump out of his body. Ayano may not be able to confess, but she will surely make things difficult for him. Ayano approaches him and states that she wants to talk about the autograph session. She asks Kauta if he has ever heard about Tsubakazaka Ratatouille. She tells him that it's in a building with a big bookstore called Matahabi Bookstore. The venue is on the 4th floor there. Ayano told him earlier that the autograph session would take place after the talk show, and the talk show would feature 2 newcomer writers and 2 big names. After that, the 2 newcomers will remain there to sign autographs. One of the big names is Keiru Ichika. The only time Ayano will be face to face with her mother will be on the talk show. Ayano wonders what her mother thinks of her. She's worried that she might finally get to meet her Mon and she doesn't like him. Ayano is questioning why Hane decided to leave them. Ayano wants to meet her, but she doesn't know what she should say to her. Kauta is silently listening to all of Ayano's thoughts. Kauta says Ayano's pen name and pretends to be holding a mic while asking Yutani-sensei about her first autograph session. He asks Ayano to give him some words. Ayano wonders if Kauta has some loose screw, but he tells her he's helping her practice for the real deal. Ayano claims that she won't know what to say until she's in front of actual fans. Kauta claims that he's an actual fan as well, although it's hard for him to imagine that he gets to see his favorite novelist all the time. Ayano realizes that Kauta is right. She has been dreaming about it, but still hasn't absorbed the fact that Kauta is actually coming to her book signing with his own will. He tells her that he's so looking forward to the session of Yutani-sensei. Ayano is turning all red as she can barely hide her blushing face. Kauta is already used to this reaction from Ayano now. He would have been flushed at first, but now it's normal for him to see Ayano blushing and sweating and trying to cutely hide her embarrassment. He feels at ease by seeing these reactions from Ayano because, after all, she doesn't have the courage to confess her love. However, overconfidence always bites back. Ayano might have trouble with words but not her actions. She takes a step towards Kauta and hugs him by surprise. Now the flushed reactions from Ayano that Kauta was enjoying, he's going through the same. He's panicking over why Ayano is jumping over that tall wall so easily now. Ayano then falls to the ground, so Kauta wonders what happened to her. He hears her thoughts and finds out that upon realizing that Kauta's really coming to the autograph session, her legs went all jelly. She's still celebrating in her heart, but to act cool, she tells Kauta that she suddenly felt like sitting down. At this point, Ayano doesn't even care about the interview, but Kauta wants her to at least care about the main event. And like that, another day goes by in a flash and Kauta successfully avoids getting confessed. Yuna and Kauta decide to head to the school together. While Yuna is locking the door, Ayano sees Kauta talking to Yuna about how she's saving energy for the afternoon match. Ayano heads out at the same time Kauta is about to pass through her house. She greets Kauta while thinking about why Yuna is also with him today. She was hoping that it would be just her and Kauta. She pretends that her bumping into them is just a coincidence. However, Yuna isn't that dumb, despite being Kauta's sister. She's sure that Ayano was definitely waiting at the front door, so she says good morning to her with a cheeky smile. Kauta is disappointed in Ayano's acting skills, as even Yuna knows all about her feelings. Kauta talks to Ayano about her session today, so Yuna jumps into the conversation, saying that she would like to come too. However, Ayano reminds her that she has a club match. Yuna is disappointed at how Kauta is the only one who gets to participate. Life is too short to worry, so Yuna punches her brother and blames him for this. Kauta looks at Ayano, who's talking less than usual. He hasn't heard much of her heart's voice today as well. He wonders if this silence is because she's nervous about the talk show. Yuna asks Ayano if there are any rehearsals, so Ayano reveals that there are. She plans to leave early at lunchtime. Ayano then wonders if she brought everything she needs. Just in case, she checks her bag, and while checking, she drops a diary on the ground. Kauta picks up that red notebook that looks like a scheduling diary or something. This diary seems familiar to him, as if he has seen this with Ayano before. He calls out Ayano and tells her that she dropped it. As he is telling her to be careful next time, Ayano snatches it from his hands faster than AOT fans assembled to defend Eren. He was the best guy around though. Ayano has that strange embarrassed look along with some essence of anger for touching her precious diary. Kauta trembles with fear after looking into Ayano's eyes. He apologizes to her. Ayano then turns around and thanks him for handing it back to her. Yuna then tells Ayano that she dropped her bag. While helping her to pick it up, Yuna suggests her not to drop her bag so casually. Kauta is surprised that Ayano would toss away her bag just to get that diary. Kauta is now curious about the diary, wondering why is it that important to Ayano. As soon as they enter the school building, Ayano heads off to the staff room so she can get her request to leave early approved. After she leaves, Kauta is looking through his locker when he notices something wedged under. He picks it up, and it's a candid picture of Mizuki. He wonders why this thing is here. Just then, Mizuki approaches him from behind. Mizuki scares the shit out of Kauta as she greets him from behind. Kauta takes a moment to calm himself down and then greets her back. Mizuki then reveals that she has been assigned an after-school duty thing. She explains that she will need to do a broadcast for lost and found items. It's her turn to do the broadcasting now. The lost and found box even has a note begging students to pick their lame stuff up before they throw it away. Some JJK fangirls even drop their brain, which is also in this box. Kauta shares that he did hear about an increase in lost and found items lately. He even picked one just now. He gives Mizuki her picture that he thinks belongs to her. Mizuki takes a lot at the picture and starts blushing. She asks if it belongs to Kauta. He immediately denies it while telling her that he just picked it up. Mizuki thinks that it was taken secretly, so she asks Kauta if he has any idea who would do something creepy like this. Kauta takes a look back at the previous chapters and Amamiya sensei immediately pops up in his mind. He's sure that only she can do something so disgraceful, but he decides not to tell Mizuki about it for now. Mizuki feels uneasy with someone taking her picture without her permission, so for some reason, she decides that the best thing to do with this picture is to give it to Kauta as a gift. Kauta tells her that he doesn't need it, but Mizuki grabs his waist and puts it in his pocket while telling him that he shouldn't refuse anyone's gifts. Kauta feels scared at how this teeny tiny girl is overwhelming him. Mizuki is putting it in his pocket because she doesn't want to keep a photo that was taken by someone she doesn't know. However, Kauta doesn't want to keep this photo for the same reason. Mizuki is not backing out, so Kauta caves in. He tells her that he will keep it, so she should let her hand out of his pocket now before she grabs some walnuts. Kauta is amazed at how this girl is not afraid to go head-to-head with boys of her age. His curiosity about that diary is gone now. The classes begin, and at noon, Kauta notices the empty chair of Ayano and realizes that she must have left. As the time for the talk show approached, Kauta started feeling an indescribable anxiety building up inside him. He looks at his phone to check the time and of course the cute picture of Byakuya. It's 4 p.m. right now and there's still plenty of time before the signing session. However, Kauta decides to head there early just in case. He says goodbye to Mizuki, who's holding Ayano's book and thinking about how she will read it in the broadcast room. Kauta wasn't expecting Mizuki to be fond of Ayano's work. Mizuki asks Kauta if he knows about this novel, so Kauta replies that he read it recently. Mizuki then stops him so they can talk about it for a while. She shares that she didn't know Kauta is into romantic novels as well. She likes this one a lot, so much that she has already read it 3 times. She can't believe that Utani-sensei would make their debut with such a masterpiece. Mizuki thinks that the writing style is somewhat similar to that famous novelist Ichika Keido. Just then, Mizuki highlights that she just realized something amazing. She points at the writer's name, Utani Takiko, and shares that if they sort the writer's name in hiragana, it forms Neitake Kauta. Kauta thinks about it for a second, and is shocked at Ayano's audacity. How difficult can it be for her to hide her feelings? Mizuki laughed when she noticed this coincidence. She then heads off to the broadcast room where she is the announcer. Kauta leaves as well for the session venue while thinking about how reckless Ayano is to be using his name like that. Thanks to this coincidence, his anxiety is gone now and his body is feeling lighter than before. He remembers Ayano thinking about how she doesn't care about the talk show as long as Kauta is coming to the signing session. This thought made Kauta nervous, but now he's feeling okay. Just then, his phone starts ringing. Kauta checks his phone and sees that it's a call from Ayano. This is the first time she's calling him, so he wonders if she needs something or if there's an emergency. Being an introvert, he takes a moment to prepare himself for the call as he gets very nervous when it comes to talking to people on the phone. He answers the call and someone other than Ayano on the other side asks if this is Neitake Kauta. Turns out that it's the cute secretary Kurigiri Seiko from the Inakoronge editorial department. Kauta remembers her from the time he bumped into Hana-san the other day. Kauta wonders why Seiko is calling him from Ayano's phone. She asks Kauta if he knows that Ayano will be on a talk show today. Kauta replies that he does. Since Seiko doesn't have much time, she gets straight to the point. She tells Kauta that if things continue like this, Ayano won't be able to go on the talk show. Kauta is stunned as he tries to make sense of what's happening. Ayano told Seiko that she couldn't go to the talk show. Kauta does not understand what is happening, so he asks Seiko for more details. Seiko explains that Ayano dropped something on the way here. It's some red notebook that she always carries on herself. Kauta remembers it from the morning. Seiko states that Ayano got very anxious when she realized that the red notebook is missing. Therefore, she's in no condition to go out in public right now. Seiko explains that Ayano is hardly responding to her when she talks to her. It's as if Ayano has lost her mind. Kauta gets worried for her as she should have talked to her mother when she's in such trouble. Seiko then requests Kauta to find the notebook and bring it to the venue before the talk show starts. Being a guy, Kauta should go to the end of the world for Seiko. She then tells him that he's the only hope they have right now. Even if she says so, Kauta has no idea where to look. Seiko then reveals that before Ayano left the school premises, she bumped into another student in the corridor. If they are lucky, she might have dropped the notebook there. Kauta asks Seiko what would happen if he fails to bring it. Seiko tries to inform him in the most casual way by saying that since she's not feeling good, the talk show and the signing session will be cancelled. Kauta goes silent as he remembers Ayano's hopeful smile, and how she was so looking forward to seeing Kauta at that session. He assures Seiko that no matter what happens, he will find the notebook and bring it to the venue. Seiko thanks him for the help, saying that Ayano told her about how the two of them are good friends. She's glad that she reached out to him. She'll trust him to bring the notebook and prepare for the show. After the call ends, Kauta stares at his phone while thinking about how Ayano will never get to see her mother again if she misses the show, and all of this now depends on him. Kauta is now panicking over such a huge responsibility. He immediately uses his dash skill to rush to the corridor while blaming Baka Ayano for dropping such an important item. He looks in the lost and found item, and apparently, there's a whole telephone from the past in there, but not Ayano's notebook. Kauta takes a moment to analyze the situation. Assuming the notebook was really dropped at school and someone picked it up and took it home, this whole mission is a bust. However, if that person is still at school, he wonders how he should look for them. He decides to ask each and every student who is still at school until the last minute. Just then, he hears Mizuki's voice thanking everyone for today's broadcast. That reminds him that it's Mizuki's duty to broadcast today. He remembers how there have been a lot of lost and found items recently, and he can hear other girls' thoughts about their lost items whenever they hear it on the broadcast. An idea clicks his mind, so he runs over to Mizuki and asks for a favor. He then runs over to the middle of the school and stands there to make sure he can hear all the voices within the school. The rest depends on Mizuki. She then announces on the broadcast that if someone sees a red notebook, please come to the staff room right away. Kauta starts hearing the thoughts of all the girls who heard the announcement. However, so far, he hasn't found any clue. He hears about a white notebook, but not the red one. Some plus-sized influencer is thinking about eating the red notebook, while some other wannabe single mom is looking forward to her date with Senpai. Kauta is overwhelmed with this much information. He now realizes why Gojo's limitless domain with an infinite flow of information is the second strongest domain. Not first because that belongs to Gabe's husband Sukuna with his infinite plot armor. Kauta is swarmed by the voices of over 70 girls altogether, and he realizes that he can't hear all of them like this. He thought this was his best shot, but unfortunately, things aren't looking good. He prays to find just one clue that could lead him to the book. Just then, he hears some girl talking about the red book while hinting that she knows something about it. Kauta has finally found his clue, so he decides to follow that voice. The voice seemed quite loud, as if she was upset by the broadcast just now. Not only that, but the voice seems vaguely familiar to Kauta. He heads directly to the staff room. He opens the door and asks these students if someone picked up a red notebook. However, these girls have no idea about it. Kauta also thinks that it wasn't their voice that led him here. After the girls leave, he sees Amamiya sensei alone in the office. She's looking at him with the same disappointed eyes while thinking if the broadcast earlier was his doing. She sighs and asks Kauta if he's the one going around the school questioning students about some red notebook. She then opens her drawer and asks if this is the one he's looking for. Luckily, the notebook in Amamiya's hand is the one that Ayano lost earlier. She reveals that she picked it up from the corridor around lunchtime. Kauta is glad that he has finally found the notebook. He tells Sensei that he wants to return it to its owner right away, so he asks if he could have it. Without even thinking about it, Amamiya declines his request. Kauta is shocked to hear the cold rejection. Amamiya states that since this notebook does not belong to him, she can't hand it over to him. Kauta tells her that it belongs to Ayano, who told her to bring it to her right now. In that case, Amamiya tells him to bring Ayano here because she can't give it to anyone other than its rightful owner. She explains that once they gave a highly prized item to someone other than the owner, which led to some huge trouble. Since then, they have always handed over the item only to its owner, although he can get Ayano's permission first. Kauta is not sure because he only got permission from the pretty editor, and judging by Ayano's reaction earlier, she may not risk the notebook getting in Kauta's hands. Therefore, Kauta decides to beg Amamiya, but she stays firm on her refusal. She is not going to break the rules. While Kauta is frustrated, Amamiya thinks about how she could be deemed unqualified to look after Mizuki if she breaks the rules or gets into trouble. She won't do anything that might risk her not being able to stay by Mizuki's side. That's because Amamiya can't imagine a world where she can't breathe the same air as Mizuki. She would rather get Jaegered by an Ackerman than see some other maid by Mizuki's side. She tells Kauta that she will not hand the notebook to anyone other than Ayano. Kauta was worried about finding the diary, but he didn't expect the real problem to come his way after he found the notebook. Amamiya even has that "get away from my skirt, you horny perverse" stance while telling Kauta that she will never hand this notebook that she found to him. Kauta is trying to use all his brain cells to figure out a solution to this problem. This lame problem that he never thought would occur. He then looks at the clock, and it's already 4:32 p.m. He realizes that at this rate, he won't make it in time for the show. Kauta brings out hit phone to talk to Ayano, but then he remembers that Seiko told him about how Ayano is in no condition to talk to anyone. Kauta finds himself in a stalemate. Just then, the picture that Mizuki shoved into his pocket falls out as it was in the same one as his phone. Amamiya notices the picture falling out of Kauta's pocket, but what shocks her more is that this picture is of Mizuki. Kauta feels embarrassed at being seen with the picture of some other boy in his pocket. However, as Kauta is picking it up, Amamiya's inner voice reveals that she's familiar with this photo. That's because she's the rightful owner of this secret and precious photo. She wonders why Kauta, of all the people, has this picture. Kauta, who was already doubting this disgusting but pretty lady, is now sure that she is the culprit. Amamiya is thinking about how this picture is the best one in her collection. It's actually a miracle that she was able to capture it at eye level, even though it's a stealth shot. Kauta is getting really scared of Amamiya now. However, an idea clicks in his tiny mind. He realizes that if he makes good use of this picture, he might be able to get the notebook back. With a trembling voice and embarrassed face, she asks Kauta about the photo that just fell from his pocket. She asks if that was Mizuki in that picture. Amamiya is thinking about a way to get that photo back. She accidentally deleted all her computer data a little while ago, so that picture is the only masterpiece she has left. She does have some other hard copies of her stock, but she doesn't want to give up on that ultra-rare platinum card. She then looks at the notebook in her hand and an idea pops up in her mind. She decides to use the notebook to negotiate with Kauta so she can exchange it with the picture. She puts on her negotiating smile and tells Kauta that the topic of the notebook is now closed. However, she can hand it over if he lets her see that picture. Kauta is amazed at how serious Amamiya is with her disgraceful stuff. Before Kauta can make a decision, he gets tapped by a surprise guest. It's Mizuki who asks for an update from Kauta on finding the notebook. Both Kauta and Amamiya are shocked to see her here, as they were both secretly negotiating a deal that would surely disappoint her. Mizuki is here to return the key to the broadcasting room. She then asks Kauta again if he found Ayano's notebook. Kauta then gives a side eye towards Amamiya, so Mizuki looks over at her and sees the notebook in Amamiya's hand. She's glad that Amamiya picked up the notebook and that they finally found it. Kauta then reveals that the problem isn't over yet because Amamiya claims that she won't hand it over to anyone other than Ayano. Mizuki then turns toward Amamiya and asks if she won't give it to Kauta. Amamiya tries to defend herself by saying that it's against the rules and Kauta needs to bring the owner. Mizuki then gets a bit closer to Amamiya and leans in towards her face, asking again if she won't give it to them. Amamiya is overwhelmed to the point where she starts sweating and panting. She wants to tell her that she needs to follow the rules. She was scolded last year by the vice principal just for looking at her phone in the corridor. She can't let anything bad happen again. She gathers all her courage to tell Mizuki that she can't hand it over no matter what happens. Just then, another teacher calls Mizuki to talk to her for a second. Kauta realizes that if Amamiya is not willing to hand it over even after that closeness, schmozness from Mizuki, then he should just give up. However, he looks at Mizuki's picture in his hand and thinks about how paper photos are quite rare nowadays. No one really keeps a hard copy of pictures anymore. He thinks about Amamiya's thought that he heard earlier about being scolded by the vice principal for looking at her phone in the corridor. This must be why she decided to print photos instead of keeping them on her smartphone. She also said something about having her stock earlier. Since she would stand out if she started looking at random photos in the corridor, Kauta realizes that Amamiya must need something to hide the pictures. He then thinks about the things that Amamiya is always carrying with her, so she can always look at the pictures while walking. He looks around her desk and notices the attendance register that she's always carrying with her. He realizes that he doesn't have enough time for negotiations. He needs to go all out. Therefore, Kauta picks up the attendance register and warns Amamiya that if she doesn't hand over the notebook, he will open her attendance register. Amamiya is wondering what Kauta is trying to do until it finally clicks in. She finally realizes what Kauta is trying to do. Her face turns into an ugly frog waking up from sleep only to find his wife cheating on him. She confirms Kauta's deduction that there are pictures of Mizuki inside that register. She wonders how Kauta found out about them. She realizes that she can think about it later, and for now, Her top priority should be getting the register back from him. She tries to act cool while clearly sweating and panicking to tell Kauta that she doesn't know what his intentions are, but he should return it to her right now. However, Kauta makes it clear that he's not messing around. Amamiya looks at Mizuki, who's still busy talking to another teacher. She can't risk Mizuki seeing the pictures she has been taking in secret. She weighs the notebook and Mizuki on a measuring scale, and the answer becomes crystal clear to her. She hands over the notebook and tells Kauta to make sure to give it to Ayano. Kauta is surprised at how easy it is to manipulate Amamiya. She then asks Kauta if he actually knows what's inside the register. Kauta thinks about it for a second. Since he can't reveal his power to hear the girl's heart's voice to her, he decides to be careful while answering. After thinking about it, he tells Amamiya about his guess. He pretends that he only thinks that Amamiya worries about Mizuki and he saw her looking at Mizuki's pictures the other day, so he thought that this might be the case. He then states that Mizuki is a handsome boy after all to imply that Amamiya has a crush on this cute guy. Amamiya confesses that Kauta's guess is on point. She's grateful that at least Kauta doesn't know about her relationship with Mizuki yet. Kauta then remembers how Mizuki was bothered at seeing a picture of her taken without permission, so he tells Amamiya that if Mizuki sees this photo, she won't be happy about it. He suggests Amamiya stops taking pictures like this. Amamiya is glad to have the picture back, and she understands that her reckless action has hurt her precious Ojo-sama. She realizes that what she's doing is wrong, so she opens the register in front of Kauta. All the hundreds of pictures fall out of the register in front of Kauta. The pictures of Mizuki from almost every angle. Amamiya then starts gathering the pictures and informs Kauta that she will give them all to him so he can show them to Mizuki. She requests him to calm Mizuki down and comfort her by saying that he managed to take all her photos from the stalker. That is the only way to end this, but Kauta does not feel very good about this. Glasses Sensei is done talking with Mizuki, so she calls out Kauta and offers to go home together. Amamiya then tells Kauta to quickly put the pictures in his bag and give them to her where she can't see them. Kauta puts the pictures in his bag and informs Mizuki that he got the notebook back. He thanks her for her help, so Mizuki asks if they can go home together now. However, Kauta apologizes, saying that he needs to be somewhere and is in a hurry. Kauta runs towards the station while panicking as he's already too late. On his way, he slips on the stairs and the notebook falls out of his hand. He starts panicking that he has lost the notebook and now he will have to find it again. However, he finally decides to look in front of him and the notebook is simply lying on the ground in front of him. However, it ended up opening to some random page. Kauta picks up the notebook without any intention of reading it, but he can't help looking at what is already in front of him. Kauta is stunned as this is not what he thought he would find in this notebook. Kauta finally arrives at the venue building and calls out the pretty editor who is already waiting for him at the entrance, hoping for him to arrive soon. Saiko looks even prettier with her surprised look that Kauta has actually brought the notebook. Saiko thanks him a lot and asks if he's sure that it belongs to Ayano. She opens the notebook to check if it's hers, but Kauta immediately asks her not to read what's inside. He tells her Ayano doesn't want anyone to read its contents as it's private, so it's better to take this to Ayano and she will confirm. Saiko is impressed with how good of a gentleman our unlucky dude is. She looks even prettier with an amazed look. She tells Kauta to follow her so they can return it to Ayano. Kauta decides to forget what he just read in that notebook for Ayano's sake. They take the elevator to the 4th floor while Kauta apologizes for taking so long, but Saiko tells him that they still have time. Just as the elevator opens on the 4th floor, Kauta sees a group of cats running to the other side of the hallway. He wonders if this is some kind of warning from Amatsu or something. He asks Saiko why she brought him to a cat cafe, but Saiko clarifies that this is not a cat cafe. She tells him that these cats flooded the venue out of nowhere. These cute little uninvited guests are the reason why the show got a bit delayed. Thanks to these cats, Kauta made it in time. She finds it strange as it felt like the cats came on purpose to buy Kauta some time. Kauta realizes that this must be Amatsu's doing, so he thanks the group of cats led by this patchy cat. The cats then head off as the mission is successfully completed. However, on their way back, the cats decide to gang up on Kauta to send him flying. As a result, Kauta drops his bag and his wallet drops out of his bag. The cat leader then grabs Kauta's wallet and shakes it to unveil the assets inside his wallet. The cats then grab each and every coin they find, and after taking their well-deserved payment, they storm off. Saiko is amazed as she has never seen anyone get robbed by a cat before, while Kauta is in tears as all his pocket money was taken away. Meanwhile, Amatsu is laughing at Kauta as buying time as a paid service with him. Just then, the zombie version of Ayano comes walking towards them. With her eyes closed and all her hopes crushed, Ayano is wondering where Seiko-san is. Seiko rushes towards Ayano telling her that her hair is all messed up. Ayano asks Seiko about her notebook, while Kauta realizes that Seiko wasn't lying when she told him about the seriousness of this problem. Seiko then pulls Ayano's cheeks and tells her to open her eyes because they have found her notebook. Ayano's face immediately lights up as she finally gets to see her notebook after the long time they spent apart from each other. Seiko is glad that Ayano feels better now. Ayano asks where she found it, so Seiko tells her that she dropped it at school but Kauta looked for it and brought it to her. Since Kauta knows what's written inside, he realizes that Seiko should not have told Ayano that it was he who brought the notebook here. Ayano goes silent for a second at hearing that Kauta is the one who brought it. She immediately unleashes her all-jutsu and jumps at Kauta like a hungry lion. She lands in front of him in her Spider-Man pose while Kauta is already saying his final goodbyes to this world. She then grabs Kauta with all her might and asks him if he looked inside. All trembling with fear, Kauta tells her that he did not. However, Ayano can see through his lie as she knows that Kauta definitely looked inside. Kauta remains firm on his statement that he did not like inside. Ayano then pins Kauta to the wall and asks for the third time, while thinking about how she will have to find some truck if he actually saw what's inside. With tears in her eyes, she asks Kauta if he's telling the truth. Seiko then comes to Kauta's rescue by landing a hit on Ayano's head and telling her to calm down. She shares that when she tried to have a look inside, Kauta stopped her saying that it's private. A guy like that would never invade her privacy, so Ayano should go and fix her makeup now. Ayano is now convinced and Kauta lives to see another day. Seiko then asks Kauta if he has the pass for the signing session. Since he does not, Seiko gives him a special pass so he can see the talk show in a special seat. She then walks away with Ayano to get her ready. Kauta is glad that Ayano is feeling better now and is back to normal. He then heads off to the restroom, the combined washroom, the neutral washroom. While washing his hands, Kauta thinks about Ayano and how she was worried about meeting her mom and what would happen if Hane doesn't like her. Kauta is getting a bit nervous too, as it has been a long time since they met each other, but he's sure that Ayano will be alright. He hopes that once they see each other, they will be able to talk again like the old times. Just as Kauta leaves the washroom, he sees a lady sneaking around in the corner of the hallway. He gets close to the lady, only to find out that it's Hana-san. She's surprised to see Kauta here, but Kauta is more surprised to see her sneaking around like this. He asks where she's going because she should head to the venue now. Hana claims that she was about to go to the venue, but decided to stop at the bathroom first. Kauta is unable to believe her, especially since she's standing by the emergency stairs. He stops Hana and highlights that she's actually going to the emergency stairs and not the bathroom. Hana acts surprised and then tries to run off through the emergency stairs. However, Kauta stops her and tells her that Ayano was waiting for her at the venue. Hana's expressions turn sad as she already knows about this. She wants to apologize to Ayano for ignoring her tears and walking out of that door. She wants to apologize to her because she can see her now and wants Ayano to forget about her. She lets go of the act and tells Kauta that she's going back home. She claims that the talk show will work out fine even without her, and she will apologize to Seiko the next time. Poor Seiko getting sandwiched between the crazy mother and daughter. She then grabs Kauta's hands and tells her that she's hungry. She asks Kauta if he would like to have some udon with her. She claims that she would rather spend some quality time with him than do a talk show. However, Kauta slowly pulls away his hand while thinking about what this lady is talking about. Kauta loses his calm as he tells this crazy lady to cut it out. He yells at Hane for being so selfish and orders her to meet her daughter and talk to her. It shouldn't be that hard to talk to her precious daughter. However, Hane claims that she can't do it. She thinks to herself that she doesn't have the right to do